Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. I'm Julia.
I'm Amy.
This is Women, Worth, and Weddings.
And today we're going to be talking about the best and worst that we've seen in 2024.
Yeah, we had a crazy, crazy fall season. We've done so many weddings, experienced so many things, and we just wanted to talk about the things that we loved, that worked, and things that were like, oh, that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Or like that didn't work out. Like it was tried, didn't work out.
Let's do negative, then positive. So we'll do the things that
Okay.
didn't work first, and then we'll go into the positives.
Okay.
Okay, we'll end it on a positive.
Let's see. I think one thing that didn't work, and that most caterers would never do this, is the food not being put away when after like a certain amount of period has passed, because then it becomes unsafe, especially when seafood is involved. We saw that, and I get it because people were snacking throughout the whole night, but that is how food poisoning happens.
Yeah, you gotta.
It was like sitting out for like 6 hours,
Yeah.
and it was like shrimp and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a little scary. So that's a not for me personally, but I also have a sensitive stomach. So I'm like, oh, I would just die. I would pass away if I ate that right now. That did not work.
Yeah,
Just packing up the food. Couples, a lot of my couples this past fall loved having to go trays and stuff
Yes.
with them. So being able to have some to-go food to go eat at the hotel or whatever, like even their after party, throwing out these trays and being able to eat it, like that is ideal. But having everything put away properly when it's time.
Yeah. 100%.
That's huge. One that did not work and we've seen a lot of is couples expecting to be able to leave their decor overnight, like their personal items. Most venues, especially nowadays, are doing back-to-back weddings. Like when our venue that we work at so much does like, at one point it was a Thursday through Monday, like back to back to back to back.
You have to get your stuff. We have in our questionnaire like who's getting your items, but but then when there's transportation or something like that,
It's like so-and-so is supposed to be grabbing your items, but they're getting on the bus too. So if you have your whole entire guest count on buses, there's no vehicles involved, like personal vehicles, like you have to take in like mind, like those items are going to have to go on that bus. All your leftover alcohol, food, and your decor. I think decor is a huge thing that gets forgotten about. It's like, oh, well, multiple people came throughout the day dropping off decor slowly. Like so-and-so is here with alcohol, so-and-so is here with whatever. That's multiple vehicles. Now you only have one vehicle at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I had a dad have to do like 3 trips back and forth from a hotel.
Yeah.
Because
it's
no one thought about it.
stressful on the people that don't know that they're supposed to get this stuff for you. So make sure that they know that they are so they can be prepared for it.
Yeah.
But also and know that your wedding planner probably doesn't want all your decor.
Yeah. A go-to being like, oh, we'll just give it away at the end of the night is usually not going to work.
Yeah.
Especially because the venue doesn't want all your decor in their trash taking up their dumpster room for their back-to-back weddings.
Yeah, so just having a plan for...
Plan of action. It's super easy.
Yeah, who's taking it, who's responsible for it, making sure that they know that they're responsible for it and they have a vehicle to take it with them.
Yeah, or multiple vehicles. If it takes multiple vehicles to bring everything to the venue, you're going to need multiple vehicles to get it out of the venue.
Yep.
And we put it all in bins personally. Like if it comes in bins, we're putting it back in bins.
Yeah.
Some people may not do that, but we do that. And so what it comes in is what's going out in.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to go.
Yeah, it needs to go. So that's been a huge thing. I've had multiple incidents where I'm like, how are you getting it out? And they're like all standing around the vehicle staring at it like, we do not, like, how is this getting out of here? And I'm like, that's not my problem right now.
Yeah.
Like, don't look at me. We're not making eye contact right now because that is something that you've done.
That sounds like a you problem. Yeah. I mean, and I've had so many people ask me if I want the stuff that I can just have it, or can I meet them tomorrow if I can put it in my car? And I'm like, no.
We get it. It's something that's so easy to not think about when multiple people are bringing stuff throughout the day for you. But that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially with transportation.
Yes.
Because I just had to fill up like multiple rows of seats in a bus recently because everything had to go on that bus.
Yeah, for sure.
So, venues not having trash, that is a huge, huge thing. If the venue doesn't have trash, making
trash
like dumpster.
Yeah.
Or trash cans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing too. But a venue not having a dumpster is a very big deal.
Very big deal.
You don't realize how much trash your wedding like accumulates.
Yeah. And all the vendors are supposed to take their own trash.
Yeah.
We ended up with an entire U-Haul full of trash.
Yes.
It was
Entire U-Haul full of trash.
a nightmare.
Yeah. And we had our poor apartment building. We had to just like
Put it in that
throw
dumpster.
it in there. And then everyone who actually like lived there was just taking their one bag to the dumpster. It was just like, these bitches.
I know. It was so awful. I will never do that again. I'm not responsible for the trash.
No, and it's like in our contract that we aren't, but like at the end of the night, there's no venue staff there for this one venue. And there was so much trash. We did everything we possibly could.
Yeah.
Like our U-Haul was slammed. So making sure if your venue does not have a dumpster, getting a trash service would be awesome.
Yes.
If not, making sure every vendor knows they're taking their trash.
And you're taking
So like give you an example, like all your decor, like everything comes like wrapped in plastic in that box. Where is that plastic in that box going in the night? Because you don't want it. Mm-hmm. I don't want it. Mm-hmm. There's no trash can. Like what are we doing? So
yeah, it's a lot. Like that is a big one.
Big one. Yeah, making sure there is trash service. That was did not work. Never happening again.
Yeah.
Never, ever, 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 ever happening again.
Yeah. Oh.
What didn't work is DJs going rogue, which is also, that would never work. It's never, ever a thing where they should go rogue. But having conversations with your DJs ahead of time and making sure they know what kind of vibe you want for the night.
It's the same as booking a videographer or a photographer.
Yeah.
They have their style.
Yeah.
So knowing the style of your DJ, if he or she is out on the dance floor dancing and interacting with the guest and that's not your jam, don't expect them not to do it if you haven't had a conversation with them.
Yeah. Setting expectations with that, because we've had multiple DJs this fall season that have kind of like been more out there and the couple didn't want that. So, having that conversation is important because it does not work when they are in the moment telling a whole story to the crowd and the couple was just like, how do I make this person shut up without being rude?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. What did not work is also, and I get it, I get the idea of it, but telling your guests to come a different time than what your ceremony is actually going to be. And I get it because sometimes you're in a high traffic area or you just know all your guests are always super late. But it throws off the whole timeline when everyone arrives super early because they're expecting things to start early. And now all your guests are staring at your vendors like they're not doing a good job.
And they're pissed.
Yeah, no one wants to be standing for an extra hour.
Yeah.
It just then that leads into cocktail hour where it's another hour people standing. Yeah. It just throws off the whole timeline.
Yes. It is no good.
Yeah, if your guests arrive late, then we will personally shame them for you.
Yeah. That's our
I'll be like, nope, can't go in the ceremony area. You'll stand right there. Yeah. So.
I mean, make sure that
if you're late as a guest, and then there's some times where it's just like completely out of your control. Like you plan on being there 20 minutes early and a wreck happened. But if you're just someone that's always late and that's just your little quirky thing, then that's on them,
Yeah.
Yeah. And if something's wrong, there's like an accident or something, a bridge is up or something like that, we typically work around it. Just so you know, if we look in your ceremony area and we're like, we're about to start in 10 minutes, but no one's here, then like we will do our job and make sure like your guests are here before we start as much as we can. But just, telling people the right time.
Yeah.
Or at least if you're going to tell your guests to arrive super early, let your vendors know. Yeah. So everyone's like not terrified of all the people staring at them when they're trying to set up the bar still, Yes. And everyone's like, give me a drink. And they're like, we're not open like for another 2 hours. So,
Oh, man. That was rough.
Yeah. So that's something that did not work.
One thing that I know didn't work is just changing your mind too close to the wedding.
Yeah.
So like month of, week of, about like major logistic things like rentals, layout, timeline. It is what it is. We got it done. We've already handed it out to everybody. You've already ordered your rentals, paid for it. There's no changing it.
Yeah. Yeah, especially timeline and layout, like the week of your wedding. Someone's going to walk in day of with the wrong thing. It just because we've already sent it out. So if you try to change something when it's already been sent out, someone's going to walk in with the wrong one. It always happens.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how many times we send them the new one,
They
you can only
still
do that
have
so
the
many
old one.
times.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, we're going into some love.
Yes.
I loved, a couple did real champagne coupes with like a pumpkin martini during their cocktail hour. I love that. It looked so cute when I took a picture of like the guests using them. It was so cute. I love
they
that.
were colorful coupes.
Yeah.
They
They
were
were
like
like green champagne coupes just for the special cocktail.
drink. And it was so special, and guests felt so like
Bougie.
Yeah.
They're like, this drink. I love this drink.
That was good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love that. I also loved real plants for wedding centerpieces. If you're someone that loves plants and you have a bunch of plants and you want to take them home with you, like you can't take home a bunch of centerpieces that are like picked flower stems, and it's not gonna, like, you can obviously, but it's not gonna last long,
Right.
because they're, not in a pot. So my brain is like, I'm gonna need you to take over now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Potted plants are great because you can take them home. Your guests can take them home, so that works for real. And one that I'm obsessed with, and I've been talking about it like every day since it happened, was we had a vendor come in and do trucker hats, like customizable trucker hats, which I'm obsessed with. And guests got to pick what they wanted on the hat, and then they literally made the hat for them, or like did whatever in front of them. That was so cool.
That was so cool. The guests loved it. They were all so excited.
Yeah, waiting. I'm not a huge fan of favors. I think that it's a waste of money. But this was
Good one.
chef's kiss. Love it.
Yeah, love that.
Was good. Sorry, I'm trying to read. Oh, another thing that I loved was a bride had cake centerpieces. That was awesome.
Yeah.
They were like little mini cakes just for that table, and that's what her centerpiece was. We put flowers on them. It was so cute, and the guest loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
How did that work logistic wise, out of curiosity? Because I wasn't there for that wedding. When did they cut the cakes?
When it was time for dessert, and the bride and groom like had their mini cake and they cut it, then the guest got to cut the cake, and it was so. I mean, they were so excited about it, and everybody got a piece, and they were all different. So when they cut them, and they were like, "Oh, we got chocolate," or whatever it was. It was very, very cute, and I think that they ordered all these like mini. They were probably like 10-inch round, 6-inch round cakes from like a grocery store like Publix or something like that. But that went over really, really well.
Yeah.
And then another thing that works that we love is for florists to come back at the end of the night.
Yeah. If you're a florist that, like, it's all about their contract. If they're going to pay for this florist, or if you just include it. I had a florist come, like, stay, and she, like, flipped ceremony and brought what flowers needed to come inside for reception. And she came back at the end of the night and, like, gathered even the flowers. Like, she got everything, all the bud vases. And I was like, I'm used to being the one that has to do it. So I'm just like, that's great. You came back.
Yeah.
I love this. I love the storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It makes it a lot easier. And then, staying too also helps. The biggest thing that I like, when about flowers and weddings is that, and one reason why we brought it in-house is because flowers wilt. They just do. And so when centerpieces, especially if there's like hydrangeas or something in there, it looks so sad, and we have to pull them, and we don't have anything to replace them with. That's kind of like, I hate
Yeah. Yeah. We've had a arbor piece completely just explode, and the florist
fell.
Yeah. Florist obviously wasn't there. And so they just we had to zip tie all these flowers on the arbor because the block just exploded.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. Can you think of anything else that worked?
I know you're not going to read this on my list, but I love risotto. I love stations.
You saw that I read it.
Yeah, I know. She was like, skip,
risotto?
and I'm like, say it. What did that say?
I was like, what?
I love stations. I love stations so much. That kind of dinner, I think it's so fun. Guests love being like, oh, what's at that one? Like, what's over there? I love it. I will say guests that are from up north typically aren't used to that kind of dinner. So it is like a little bit more of like a learning curve. That's why I love when you do stations to have a menu at each place setting. And it just says stations and what's at each station.
Yeah.
Just to help people understand what's going on.
Yeah. And it's good. And it helps like with the free flow of things because people are getting up and they're getting more food. And it just feels more, not casual is maybe not the right word for it, but it feels more like less formal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love stations. It's one of my favorite ones.
She loves risotto.
And I love risotto. I'm
favorite.
like, oh, mushroom risotto is at that station?
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do.
Like,
yeah.
Sorry, wedding planner, you get a chicken salad sandwich.
And I'm like, I don't even like the sandwich.
Oh, we're funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So, there's just certain things that we've seen really.
It's because we do so many weddings. So we just have like our favorite things and the moments where we're like, that was new. I didn't like that.
I had someone doing something I thought was super unique, and I will see how it worked, but I feel like it was super cute. She let me know that she's doing, and if you're listening to this, I'm sorry if you don't want anybody to know, but she's doing, like when you go into a store and they have sunglasses on a carousel thing that you can turn. So she's doing sunglasses as her seating chart, and so it'll have their name on it and the table, and so they can take their sunglasses, and then when it's time to dance, they'll have their glasses for the dance.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
I was like, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I love that.
Yep.
I love a lot of brides, especially, will try to find things that are unique and different, so that they're not like, like everybody else's wedding. But and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Ice sculptures don't work.
Yeah, ice sculptures. I mean, I get it. Like they're really pretty, but that person that drops it off is not staying and they do not come back. And you have to understand an ice sculpture is insanely heavy, and little me cannot clean that up for you at the end of the night. Mm-mm. And also the bucket, it has a tube and it goes into a bucket, and that bucket has to be emptied throughout the whole entire night.
Yeah.
And so never let it be a surprise to your wedding planner if you're doing one, because the wedding planner is in charge of making sure this bucket doesn't overflow throughout the whole night.
Ice kills grass, so you can't just dump this huge sculpture onto the grass to melt.
Yeah, and so like if your venue doesn't have gravel or something like that, like even if you have some strong men to move it, you're obviously not going to put ice sculpture in your car. So like, where is it going?
Yeah.
Maybe having someone stay and man it, or at least have them come back. I don't mind emptying a bucket throughout the night. That's no big deal. It's always a cleanup, because I physically cannot pick it up.
Yeah.
And I've had a guy help me before, but it took me and two guys to get this thing like barely, like where it was set up was right next to the door outside, and we barely got it outside.
You know what else doesn't work? It works and it's beautiful and I love it, is wrapped dance floors. Who's getting that wrap off the dance floor?
Well, you have to get the person, if you're wrapping a dance floor, you have to get the person that wraps it to come back and clean up in the night and take that off. We had burns on our hands for like a week, because it was just like, that was crazy.
Did you know that the wraps are not easily to come? I mean, they were 4 deep and we were pulling it so hard. Yeah. And it was like square by square.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave my body.
Yeah. And some rental companies just add an extra fee of taking it off, but just knowing what that entails.
Yeah.
That was a definitely do not do again moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But we see so many like cute moments and things that I'm like, I love that so much. And that was so good. And we can't remember all of them.
Yeah.
But I think that, just keep being creative, keep coming up like this whole sunglass thing, like keep using your imagination and coming up with things, because even if it doesn't work, it worked for you. You know? So we loved it.
Mm-hmm. I've honestly, that trucker hat one went over better than photo booths, in my opinion. Like they were all over that.
They were. And I even got one. And so did Julia. We thought we were real cool.
Yeah, we were on the drive home.
Because it was our last wedding of the year. And so we were like, we are cool. And I was so excited about that hat. Mm-hmm. As soon as I did the final walkthrough with the bride and she said she was having trucker hats, I was like, can I have one? And she was like, you can. I'm like, oh, I love this dream. So it was fun. That was good. But I love all the creative ideas that our couples come up with and the things that they want to do for their guests. And, you know, you just got to keep being creative.
Yeah. That's that.
That is that. Thank you for joining us. If you have some creative ideas that you want to share with us, put it in the comments below. Of course, always like and follow us so that you can see our episodes coming up. And we will see you later.
All right.